Good morning, students. Today we are going to study about the calculations based on the law of conservation of mass. Before that, we again revise the law of conservation of mass. What does the law of conservation of mass state? It states that matter can neither be created nor can be destroyed. It can be converted from one form to the another. That means whatever in a reaction, a reactant, the mass of the reactant is always equal to the mass of the product. That's what we have learned, and we have to keep this in mind, and we are going to solve the problems based on this, that mass of the reactant is equal to mass of the product. So the first question, it's on page number 21, 22 and 23. I am solving those examples with you so that you can understand them better. So the first question says, when 4.2 gram of sodium hydrogen carbonate is added to a solution of hydrochloric acid weighing 10 gram, it is observed that 2.2 gram of carbon dioxide is released into the atmosphere. The residue left behind is found to weigh 12 gram. Show that these observations are in agreement with the law of conservation of mass. Now, according to the law of conservation of mass, we know that mass of reactant is equal to mass of product. So here our reactants are, they are telling us that sodium hydrogen carbonate is added to a solution of hydrochloric acid. That means these two are the reactants. So we write it, sodium hydrogen carbonate plus hydrochloric acid. They will give us what they are saying. It is observed that it will give carbon dioxide. So here it is the carbon dioxide and residue. Residue actually is the sodium chloride plus water. It makes up the residue. So now mass of the reactant. Mass of the reactant means mass of sodium hydrogen carbonate plus hydrochloric acid. They have given how much sodium hydrogen carbonate? It is 4.2. Okay, so we write 4.2. Then how much HCl is there? That is the hydrochloric acid. It is 10. So we write 10. So the mass of reactant is, we have to add them both. It will be 14.2 gram. Now coming to the mass of product. Now mass of product, they have told that 2.2 gram of carbon dioxide is released. So we write 2.2. Okay, that is the carbon dioxide. And how much residue? Residue left behind is found to weigh 12 gram. So we write the 12. So 12 plus 2.2 is again 14.2. So we see that the mass of the reactant is equal to the mass of the product. So hence it is proved that the law of conservation of mass is agreed in this question. Now we'll go to the next question. Okay, in the second question, it is asked what mass of silver nitrate will react with 5.85 gram of sodium chloride to produce 14.35 gram of silver chloride and 8.5 gram of sodium nitrate if the law of conservation of mass is true. Again, the law of conservation of mass is true. They are already telling if. So we have to prove that, we have to find out how much silver nitrate is reacting. Okay, so let the mass of, first we'll write, let mass of silver nitrate be x. Okay, let it be x. Now we'll see mass of sodium chloride. How much mass of sodium chloride is there? Mass of sodium chloride is equal to, with 5.85 of sodium chloride. Okay, so it will be 5.85 gram. Next one, what is given? Chloride to produce 14.35 of silver chloride. Okay, so we'll write silver chloride, that is produced, mass of silver chloride is equal to 14.35, and sodium nitrate, mass of sodium nitrate I'm just writing the given quantities. Okay, sodium nitrate is 8.5 gram. So these are the quantities that they have given us. Okay, mass of silver nitrate we don't know, we have to find that, so I am taking it as X. Sodium chloride is 5.85, silver chloride is 14.35, sodium nitrate is 8.5. Now we'll write the reaction for this. The reaction is silver nitrate plus sodium chloride will give me silver chloride plus sodium nitrate. Okay, this is the reaction. This is the reactant side, this is the product side. Now mass of reactant is equal to mass of product. So what is silver nitrate? X. Okay, so we put it X plus sodium chloride is, how much sodium chloride? 5.85. It will give us mass of silver chloride. How much silver chloride is? 14.35 gram plus sodium nitrate is 8.5. Right? So now we solve the problem. Now X plus 5.85 will give me, now we have to add this. Okay, so it will be 5, 8.2 here, 1 carry, 22.85. Okay, now here this quantity is added over here, on the other side it will be subtracted. Okay, yes, so X is equal to 22.85 minus 5.85. So the answer will be 17 gram. That is the answer that we are getting. Okay, if we minus it, we'll get 17. So we got the answer. That's the mass. Therefore, mass of silver nitrate required in the reaction is equal to 17 gram. That is your answer. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Okay, the third question is same as the first question of ours. Now here also they are telling that we have to prove the law of conservation of mass. Okay, see, 4.90 gram of potassium chlorate when heated produce 1.92 gram of oxygen and the residue left behind weighed 2.98. Show that these results illustrate the law of conservation of mass. So we know, now we will write the reaction first. Okay, so potassium chlorate is heated. Okay, on heating what will happen? It will produce residue. Okay, residue is KCl, that means potassium chloride. So it will produce potassium chloride. So we'll write here potassium chloride plus oxygen. Now we have to prove that mass of potassium chlorate is equal to potassium chloride plus oxygen. So what is the mass given here? 4.90 for potassium chlorate. So we write here 4.90 is equal to, what is potassium chloride, how much it is given? It is 1.92. Sorry, 1.92 is oxygen, 2.98 is the potassium chloride. So it will be 2.98 plus how much oxygen? It is 1.92. If we add this up, what we'll get is, okay, we'll add it. Okay, 4.90, it will give us 2 plus 8, 10, 0 here, 1 carried, 18, 19, 9 here, 1 carried, 2, 3 and 1 carried, that is 4. So mass of the reactant is equal to mass of the product. So here also the law is proved. Now coming down to the next question. Okay, the fourth question, it is asking if 6.3 gram of sodium carbonate are added to 15 gram of acetic acid solution, the residue is found to weigh 18.0 gram. What is the mass of carbon dioxide released in the reaction? So we'll write the reaction simply from the question. Okay, so they are saying that sodium carbonate is added with acetic acid. Okay, it is producing residue plus carbon dioxide. Okay, we will write simply CO2. Okay, carbon dioxide. Now they have given us the mass of all the reactants and products that are formed. So here they are asking us to find out how much carbon dioxide is released. We know that the product side mass of product reactant is equal to mass of product. So we'll simply solve it now. Sodium carbonate, what is the mass of sodium carbonate given? It is 6.3 gram plus acetic acid, how much it is? 15 gram. It will be equal to residue. How much residue they are saying? It is weighing 18.0 gram plus they are asking us about CO2. We don't know CO2. How much CO2 is produced we are not knowing. So we'll keep it as it is. Now solve this problem. Now here if we add it, what we'll get? 0.3 will be as same and here it will be 21, right? Gram will be equal to 18.0 gram plus carbon dioxide, okay, CO2. Now here you have to, here this amount is added, the other side it will be minus. So CO2 will be equal to 21.3 minus 18.0. So it is equal to 3.3 gram. So this much oxygen, carbon dioxide will be released. So that is your fourth question. Moving on to the fifth question. Okay, the fifth question is asking us calculate the weight of quicklime formed when 400 gram of calcium carbonate is heated. Now here no mass of anything is given. They have given us the atomic weight, and according to the on basis of atomic weight we have to find the whatever is asked. Okay, the calculation we have to do. Now here we'll write the equation first. They are saying that how much, calculate the weight of quicklime formed when this much of calcium carbonate is heated. We'll write the calcium carbonate formula. It is CaCO3. When it is heated, it will give us CaO plus CO2. This is the quicklime. Okay, now they are asking us that calculate the weight of quicklime. Now this is how much they are burning. Okay, but we don't know the any masses. Now we'll first see how much mass it will produce, or how much, for how much reactant, how much product has been made. So CaCO2, CaCO3. Okay, we'll write the atomic weight. Ca is how much? Atomic weight of calcium. Here it is given, calcium is 40. So we'll write 40 plus C is how much? 12. Okay, plus 12 plus O is how much? 16, but that is multiplied to 3, so it will be 16 into 3. So this is our reactant side. It will be equal to, or it will be producing this much amount. Okay, so it will be CaO, how much it will be? Ca is 40 again, plus O, that is oxygen, it is 16. Okay, So we are only finding the quicklime, so we'll leave the CO2. Okay, we are not finding the CO2 now, right now. The CO2 will be the remaining part, so we'll not be able to find. So here now we'll solve this. So it will be 100. Okay, if we solve this, it will be 100 will give me 56. Okay, that is the calculation that has been made. So if 100 gram of or 100 gram of calcium carbonate is heated, we get 56 grams of quicklime, that is calcium oxide. Now that is what we have got. Now if 100 gram is producing 56 grams of CaO, then 1 gram of CO3 will produce how much? It will be 56 upon 100. So 56 upon 100 gram of CaO. So this is what 1 will produce. Okay, so we have 400. If 1 is producing this much, 400 will produce into 400. So the 400 gram of calcium carbonate yields is equal to 56 divided by 100 into 400. Okay, so we cancel it and we get the answer as, okay, on cancelling we get the answer as 22,224 gram. Okay, this is what we'll get. Okay, if we do the calculation, so we'll get 224 gram. So we'll say that if 400 gram of calcium carbonate is heated, we'll get 224 gram of calcium oxide, that is the quicklime. Moving on to the next question, the last one. Okay, the sixth question is same as the fifth one. Okay, same method we have to take. Now here, calculate the weight of magnesium oxide formed when 72 gram of magnesium is burnt in air. Now when magnesium is burnt in air, now we'll write the formula first. Okay, so Mg plus O2, burning means adding with oxygen, so Mg plus O2 will give me MgO. This is not a balanced equation. Okay, so we here it is O is 2, here O is 1, so we have to make it 2. So we write a 2 over here, but Mg also became 2, so we write a 2 over here. Okay, now this is a balanced equation and we'll solve the equation or the question accordingly. Now here, how much Mg, atomic weight of Mg is 24, so it will be 2 into 24 plus O is 16 into 2. We don't have to do anything with this because we only are concentrating on magnesium. Okay, so you can leave this O2 and we'll straight go to the product. Okay, we are not going to solve this. So 2 Mg, 2 into this 2 is for both of them, so we'll put a bracket. Mg is 24 plus 16. Okay, we solve it. We are not going to solve this, so here it will be 48 grams or 48 grams of magnesium will burn and give me how much? If we solve this, we'll get it will be 40 to here 80 grams. Okay, so it is, if it is 48 grams of magnesium, it will produce 80 grams of magnesium oxide. So 1 will produce how much? So 1 gram of magnesium burned to form 80 upon 48 gram of magnesium oxide. Okay, that is the formula. Now if it 1 gram will be this much, then 72 grams. If 72 grams of magnesium is burnt, how much will be produced? So if it is 72 grams of magnesium is burnt, MgO produced is equal to 80 upon 48 into 72. Okay, if we solve this, we'll get 120 gram. So that is the answer. So if 72 grams of magnesium is burnt, this much gram of magnesium oxide will be produced. Please go through the questions again and solve them in your notebook. Thank you.